want to ask Yanni, after the event, you can stay back. Yeah, I think she will love to answer all your questions if you are shy to ask here, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Now, let me give some brief introduction about our next speaker from Bemalas. So, what is Bemalas? Bemalas is an on-demand concierge service that gets you anything so long as it is legal. Alright, legal. So Bemalas was established in May 2015. It's very new and is operational in Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, and Vietnam. So they established in 2015 May, and now they have already expanded to so many countries. So presently, Bemalas handles thousands of requests per month and is growing rapidly in Southeast Asia. In markets outside of Malaysia, Bemalas is known as Be Lazy. So it's B-E-L-A-Z-E-E, lazy. Okay? Bemalas is committed to serving and helping customers in every single way possible to ensure that they have time to spend on the things that matter the most and to make commerce conversational again. So means like if you are too busy and then you are too malas, too lazy to settle certain things, so you can actually look for them. Okay, so now let's welcome our next speaker, Mr. Puvan from Bemalas, to give some explanation about them.
Hi.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah. I don't need one.
No, I mean,
Can.
oh, you need for that.
Okay, no problem. Okay. I am Puvan. This is actually my first speaking engagement for Bemalas, or Be Lazy. First of all, thank you very much for Anne for inviting me for this event. I didn't expect such a big crowd and such a nice office. So let's start get rolling. I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. How can you start a business for lazy people? Let's go to that later. I'll just run through the slides what I have today. So on-demand startups are some of the world's biggest startups, right? I'm sure you've heard about them: Uber, Didi Kuaidi, Airbnb, Instacart, Blue Apron. So all these are mostly American. Of course, our local hero Grab Taxi is there. It's not a Singaporean company; it's a Malaysian company. And of course, why is it so successful? How can they grow so big? Is because of access to easy and cheap capital allowed them to scale and dominate quickly, right? So these online marketplaces, the on-demand businesses, are disrupting the norm. So there's one big thing in common in all platforms, right? We directly don't own any of these properties. So what if you could build a platform to rule all of them? Right, so rule is a very strong word, but to help all of them, right? We work with everyone. So that's what we are aiming to be. So Be Lazy is a concierge, is an on-demand concierge service. We are the only regional concierge service for Malaysians. So we serve in 5 countries. Just a quick run through, we have sold and delivered. We fixed more than 800,000. This is a bit older. I think now we've already done a bit more than R1 million worth of furniture. We sold more than, so this was one of our crazy sales day. We sold more than 3,600 roses a day. And Nasi Lemak, of course, that's one of our major orders. Village Park Nasi Lemak, for example. So how do you build a network for everything, right? So one of the most important thing about having a network is to manage supply and demand. So you have to have supply as well as demand. So they don't survive alone. So if you don't have the right set of merchants, the right set of products to be sold, you will not have demand, people coming to you, right? So in our case especially, we have been very fortunate. I'll share you the journey a bit later of how we started and so on. But we have been very fortunate because of the approach we have taken in terms of conversational commerce. People started asking us a lot of things, and that really helped us build a lot of data about our customers, right? And that's in fact even one of the earliest tools which we ever had was a database to capture whatever customers are asking. So of course today it's much more complicated than what we had in the beginning, but that's actually key for us to understand what customers really want. So, just a quick run through. To date, we have done more than 450,000 requests. We have more than 100,000 registered users across 5 countries. We have about 900 merchants now. We've grown a lot. We have about 40 employees. That's also very scary, and a lot of data points. So yeah, that's pretty much the slides. There's one last slide here, which probably can be part of the questions you have as well, right? So in terms of operation management, Anne was asking me earlier if we have offices in all the 5 countries. We don't. We only have office in Malaysia. So we operate everything as a hub and spoke model. So every single person we hire are actually based in Malaysia. We don't have anyone hired in all the other countries. So we work with third-party partners as well as contracted freelancers in order to perform the tasks, right? And one of the very important thing in terms of managing day-to-day tasks is heavily dependent on messaging. So we communicate. I mean, email is too slow for us. So with our merchants as well as our customers, our main communication platform is through messaging, right? And then we have, so right now what we are building, so the rest of it is pretty much what we are building right now. We don't have it full-fledged yet. So we want to set up a multi-currency and multi-language platform setup where we can onboard any merchants, right? They do not have to know about e-commerce, but if we believe that they have a value they can offer to our concierge customers, we want to onboard them. So that's where it's very intensive in terms of the work we put in. So merchants do not have to self-serve and open up a store on their own and so on. So they have to give us their list of SKUs and the agreed pricing, and if there's any other agreements in terms of fulfillment and timings and so on, we agree on that and we go, right? So it's very centric towards making the commerce happen. So it's not about whether the merchant knows how to use online or everyone has a phone, and we base our business based on that fact, right? So going on to the next one is crowdsource local freelance network. So this is our contracted freelancers. So why is a contracted freelancer very important for e-commerce? I can tell you one of the biggest challenge which big networks like 11th Street, Groupon, and Lazada faces is the fact that they make a sale on the platform, but in order to deliver it to the customer, that's where the problem happens, right? Most of the time, I can tell you, if you are a merchant and yourself in these networks, you would know that one of the biggest challenges is that you have to put your stock as consignment with the platforms, or you have to deliver it to them so that they can deliver it to the customer, right? So that's where we use our freelance network to make these things happen, right? It's a cheaper way to solve the problem. And even the biggest logistic networks in Malaysia or in any other countries, they do not have a good reverse pickup solution, right? So that's where we come in and we solve it on our own, right? And the next step is the multi-country fulfillment logistics. So right now we are working towards integrating a lot of these logistics providers across the countries, across these 5 countries. We work with a couple of very big ones like UPS, and ultimately we want to provide a solution for the customer where they can just enter their tracking number and find where's the item, right? Global account management. So if any system, any international system you take, even Amazon, you don't have one account which can help you buy or sell in all the countries, right? In fact, that's one of the biggest challenges for merchants as well as customers. So we are working towards solving that through technology. We're still working on it, we don't have it yet, but I think that's one of the main things we are shooting for. And ultimately, of course, the international payment system. Because payments is, in fact, the ultimate, meaning where the commerce happens online or not. Right? If you don't pay online, that is not e-commerce. Right? So, ultimately, where is all of this leading us to? Today, we are heavily based on Facebook Messenger and SMS, and we are building our app right now. So, all these services which we are building operationally is in order to serve our app, messaging app, which hopefully will launch by Q1 next year. So, yeah, so that's what we're doing. Before you ask, I think some of them asked me already just now. I think I'm done. How did we start the business? So, I am previously from Groupon. I used to head the risk management team for APAC, for Groupon based in Malaysia. So one day, all three of us, the three founders, we used to work in Groupon, then we left in different places. So one day, Adlin, my founder, called me and said, there's this crazy idea in US, which is magic. We want to do it over here, right? So we said, okay, let's talk about it. So we met up quickly at the cafe downstairs, and then we said, okay, sounds really good. I mean, operationally, I will look at it, and then he is the sales guy. He'll sell ice to Eskimos, and we had a marketing guy. We had a marketing guy who also worked very closely with Facebook and so on. So we came along very well. So Nash, myself, and Adlin, and we said, okay, let's test this out. And that's how it started, right? Because I was having a full-time job, everyone was having a full-time job. And we are not about to drop everything and run after something we just started in the US, right? Even in the US, they were very new. Right? They started in February and we started in April. Right? So we tested it out. I still remember April 19th. We set it up and then we did a small booth on Facebook. And then requests started pouring in. We are not really sure what exactly happened. I think it's the name, right? And the name is not a very complicated name also. I think we came up with it because we couldn't agree on something else, right? We said, okay, because mainly what we thought about this business is, the idea is just so smart because it rides on the fact that everyone, I won't say everyone is lazy, but everyone has a time or a period in their lives where they just want to be lazy. Right? It's an inherent property of a human being, and we are just telling them, go ahead, Bemalas. Right? Go ahead and be lazy. Right? And that's the whole idea of the point. I mean, you can ask us anything you want, as long as it's legal, we'll do it for you. Right? So our very first order, was from a mother who just gave birth to a baby, and she wanted to buy some baby some baby products, furnitures from IKEA. Right? So that was the very first order. So on that, and we took the payment through IP88, we had a payment link. So that was the first experiment, and then it just went on, keep on growing and growing. And so that was based on SMS alone. So today we serve on SMS as well as Facebook Messenger. So I would say it's about 50-50. And ultimately you want to move on over what happened. Right? So yeah, so if you are going, before I let you ask, another question which people commonly ask is, what is the craziest thing people have asked you to do? For me, there's a few actually. Some of them I can't name it. But one of the craziest ones is one of student called us up, texted us and said that he needs 30 cockroaches for his project tomorrow. Right, so we literally sent someone to catch cockroaches. And we delivered. So we made him pay like $300 a day, but he did. Right, so yeah, so that's one of the examples. We also delivered a very special cake. So it's a Reese cheesecake, where the nearest outlet is in Dubai, and someone wanted it. Right, so we flew it in. The transport was more expensive than the cake, but they were happy. Right, so I think they're outliers. These are outliers, right? So the crazy orders are really outliers. On a day-to-day basis, we do a lot of food, we do a lot of gifting, we do a lot of flowers, we do a lot of furnitures, and home and living. I think there's, and we mainly propagate our ideas or promotions through Facebook, and it's really interesting to see that people take it up because we make it happen for them, right? Yeah. So, okay, I open the floor to questions.
Thank you, Puvan, for the presentations. Okay, so now open to the floor for Q&A. Anyone?
I'm very sorry, but I don't understand what the business is.
Oh, okay. So basically, we are a messaging-based concierge service. So you don't call us, you text us. So either you send us by SMS or Facebook Messenger or Facebook page, and then you tell us what you want. Anything, as long as it's legal and you're willing to pay for it, we can make it happen for you.
So practically the runner,
you can say that. So that's a good point, right? That's a good point. A lot of people. So to be honest, when we started the business, that's what we thought. We thought a lot of people are going to use us for deliveries. But especially customers in Malaysia brought it to a whole new level. So there's one, so we have customers who come to us and tell us, there's this promotion running in this shop. Can you send someone with size XS and try out this garments, take photos, send it to me, and I want to choose which one I want to buy. And they're willing to pay for it. Right? So Malaysians especially.
Runner something like that. If you just pick stuff, this is called dispatch. Runner is just like, for example, if I want to get someone to renew my license, and just like, oh, somebody, yeah, pay you $10, and you go run quickly to the APD and do it for me.
Yeah, no, true. We do that a lot as well. But we charge them $150. Right? So that's where our, I think, main value add comes in. I think, and there's nothing wrong being a runner, because, I think we brought it to a whole new level. Right? So we have, one of the recent biggest orders we did was a 21,000 ringgit order for someone in Brunei who wanted a lot of stuff from India. Right? So okay, all that aside, these are customers being creative, they're asking stuff, right? So what we are building now is, we are building a store where we know what customers has been asking for. And we go to merchants and tell them, I know if I put, if you want to sell a 12 dozen, a dozen roses, it will do very well on my site. Would you want to come and offer? So we work with about, I think right now we already have about 15 flower merchants who then offer different kind of promotions on our site. Right? So for customers now, they come to the store. They can also choose from there, or they can just ask us and we can tell them, okay, this is on promotion right now, we want to buy. Right? So we are completing the supply based on the information we have from the customers now. So that's the work which is ongoing.
So it's like, I saw you put just now nasi lemak, right? So you may have multiple nasi lemak suppliers, and they can just sell on your platform, because they will be requested before by your customers.
Correct, exactly. So like Village Park nasi lemak, for example, they don't need us, right? They are popular, they are people queuing up every day. So in those kind of situations, then it's then up to what the customer wants. If they want Village Park, then they'll get Village Park. If they want nasi lemak tanglin, we'll get nasi lemak tanglin. But if they want a nasi lemak which is around the corner of their house and it's really good, we'll also get that for them. Right? So for us, then it's an indicator of which merchants we should get on board.
So you don't have the latest statistic which nasi lemak is the best in the area?
So we actually have customers asking that. So tell me what is the best, right? So this is actually a very tricky request, because there's another request. They said, I want breakfast from Maksa. Right? So they said, so what do you want? Anything from Maksa, but I want breakfast from Maksa. So we have customers who do that to us. So how do you handle these customers? Right? So that's why the team which we have built, we have 40 guys there, so half of them are just chatting every day. Right? How do you resolve this kind of customers? So it's very important that we suggest something to the customer. We tell them where is it coming from. They agree to it, then we get it for them. Right? We cannot tell them, okay, close your eyes, we'll surprise you with something. We can't do that. Right? It's dangerous.
So far, do you have, could you elaborate more on the delivery side? Because you say that some buyers, they decided to put the consignment into your own warehouse, or maybe, I don't know. So I'm more curious about how to solve the operation issues that the delivery might have.
Okay. So this is my favorite part as well. So very good question. It's a big topic. Let's take a very simple example, right? There's a few possibilities. So let's take one possibility where I have a merchant and he already has some stock in my warehouse, right? So we also have a warehouse, right? So that is the easiest solution. So customer calls in, says, okay, I want this particular type of shoes. I say, yes, I have it in my warehouse right now. I can get it for you within the next 3 hours. Can you please pay this amount? They pay, and then I send someone out to pick it up from my house and deliver to it. That's the easiest. Second one is when I don't have it in my warehouse, but I know there's a merchant who has it, right? So then I have the pricing because I know the merchant. So I'll tell him, okay, I have. And this is the interesting part, because I don't know whether the merchant has the stock available or not, right? So this is when I need to have a fast communication possibility with the merchant, which is messaging. I have more than 1,000 WhatsApp message groups, right? It's crazy. So right now we are building based on that, but we are ultimately moving everyone to our own messaging platform soon, right? So I will then ask this merchant, okay, this customer X wants item A, do you have it on stock right now? If they say yes, then we push it out. We make sure we send someone to the customer, pick it up and deliver. So that's possibility 2. I'm really, of course, simplifying a lot of things. So the third one, which is sometimes very complicated, is when I don't have a relationship with the merchant. Right? So let's say nasi lemak Tanglin. No matter what I talk to them, they will tell, please queue up and buy. Right? I cannot treat you special. Right? So then I really make sure, and this is when I need to tell the customers accordingly as well. Because I don't have a relationship with the merchant, instead of getting in 1 hour, I might take 1.5 hours for you. Because I have to queue up as well. Right? So it might sound very tedious, but the only way we make it work is, right now we have a lot of what you call check and balance systems. Right now it's mainly through Google Docs, I'll be honest with you. Right? So what we are building in terms of fulfillment management systems, eventually is to have it in an app. I don't have the screenshot with me right now. So basically, in the future, if you, based on the conversations you're having with our agent, if the SKU is already available on our platform, we'll push it to you. If you agree, based on that, we will calculate and communicate to the merchant through the app as well, and then come back to you and tell you how long it's going to take for you to get your item. Right? We do a lot of international deliveries as well. So, for example, besides the cake from Dubai, we also delivered, very funny, a pair of Nike shoes from Kelantan to Brunei. Right? So, because the customer from Brunei wanted this specific type of Nike shoe, and we searched all the Nike provided, Nike sellers in the whole country, and we found it in Kelantan. Right? So, he was willing to pay for it. So, it was quite hilarious. From Kelantan, came to office, and then went to Brunei. Right? So, so in that sense of things, I believe, why did we believe in this business model in the first place? Because we all came from coupon, we saw a lot of what marketplaces can do for customers. But one of the biggest challenges is operationally to be flexible. That's really a big challenge, and also customer service. Right? In many times, people are working, I'm not blaming them, right? It's just the way it's set up. There's always a certain limitations on how much a company can serve the customer. If they are not set up for the customer, they are always inclined to focus more on profit. Right? So in my case, it's different. I have the luxury of making my customer pay if they want more. Right? And that's what we're building on. So if you want me to talk for another half an hour, another 1 hour with you, if you're willing to pay for it, I will talk to you. Right? No, I mean, literally. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you deal with those spammer? How if I just keep asking and I don't buy your service?
Yeah, like maybe they talk to you for an hour, and then in the end, the order is dropped. So.
Okay, very good question. A lot of people try this as well. So we had. I mean, these are from the early days. I mean, nowadays I don't look into the requests too much, but these are the early days when I used to handle requests as well. There was a customer who wanted to know the list of all Ramly burger supplies in the whole country. So we said, okay, fine. I mean, and to be honest, we had some connection to get the information. But of course, it's private and confidential information. I'm sure Ramly burger will come up to me if I give it out to someone. Right? So we told them exactly that. Right? So we told them exactly that. So this is private and confidential. Even though I have it, and how much you pay to me, it's wrong for me to give it to you. Right? So I can't do that. I'm really sorry. That's not the best. So we had customers who came to us and said, I have a big exam tomorrow, but I don't need to pass, I just need to be present. Can you sign someone who looks like me? Just
Oh, Malaysia is creative.
Malaysians really take it to the next level. Right? So what do I tell him? It's not illegal. Right? It's technically not illegal, it's grey, right? So we really have to explain to the customer, say that, okay, we can't do that for you. Right? It's not legal, we can't do that for you. But if someone finds out, it's bad reputation for you. So we really advise you not to do it. Of course, come on away, right?
But that becomes your cost, right? Because you have to entertain all the
Yeah,
To be really honest, these are also outliers. I mean, if I have 100 requests, maybe I get 2 like this.
Okay.
Right? So in that sense, and we also, okay, another question, like you said, they ask a lot of things and they never buy, right? So when we notice that we are crossing a 15 minutes mark with the customer, we will tell them, our conversation is taking a long time, we might have to research more things for you, 1 hour is going to cost you 50 ringgit.
Oh, okay.
Right? They pay us first. So we'll tell them, they say, okay, sure, no problem. Okay, no problem. Pay us, yeah. Pay us 50 ringgit per hour, minimum 3 hours, so they pay us 150 first.
Any people pay? Got people pay?
Okay, just to talk to them.
Maybe he's just too lonely.
Those are the things I can't talk about.
He's just too lonely and want to talk.
Do you select your merchant, or can the merchant come to you? For instance, that I have a product that come to you.
Okay.
What do you think that the product sells?
Okay, this is a question which I've been answering since my group 1 days. So, ultimately, I cannot decide whether the product is right or wrong. Customer decides.
So you still take us as your merchant?
Correct. So we can still take you as a merchant. Right now we have a store, we'll put you up in the store. But then again, if your product doesn't gain, then we can't help you much.
So you just delete us out?
No, not really. You'll be there. Because ultimately we want to build a database which has everything. Right? If suddenly someone comes tomorrow and asks exactly for that, I help you.
So do you pay your monthly fees or?
Right now we don't work on that yet. So it's basically we are going more on a success-based fee. So that means we take a percentage when there's a transaction. Lazada, I keep my comments myself, but it's more towards the marketing.
So we will do all the marketing, logistics,
Yeah.
everything. So
It's-
let's say I
yes,
say
correct.
I sell you at 50 and you only take to your bank.
Yeah. So right now, so the good thing about this business is at this point, I will tell you when you purchase something on Bemalas, that we are charging you 15% on top. Right? So let's say you come to me and say, I want a Coca-Cola. It's 1 ringgit, I'll tell you, I'll charge you 1 ringgit 15 cents. We'll tell you upfront. We don't, the costs are very transparent. And then we'll tell you the delivery cost for 1 Coca-Cola, because my runner is from Bangsal, when you're in KLCC, you have to pay 25 bucks. Right? So of course then it sounds very insane for 25 bucks for 1 ringgit 15 cent Coca-Cola. So then we tell them, you can now upsell, you can buy more. Maybe you want to buy chips, you want to buy other stuff. Now your basket size is 100 bucks, now 25 bucks doesn't look very big anymore.
Okay, so just now you mentioned about you have merchant, you have runner, and then you have also requester. So merchant and the requester, of course you cannot filter. But what about runner?
Okay, good question. She asked me outside also. So basically, we want to make sure that you. How many of you take Uber over here? Right. Okay. How many of you have been to a Uber driver program over here? Okay. So if you've been to the Uber driver program, you will most probably won't take Uber. Right? I mean, if you go Uber, if you're here, I'm sorry, but this is my personal opinion as well. Because, but then again, you have to think a lot. So we did a lot of researching before we formed up our early marriage program. I mean, our freelancers. Because if you go to the Uber driver program, you will not take Uber again, because you will see that anyone can be a Uber driver. Anyone. Right? But the reality is, the system is built in such a way that those who are not performing or driving bad, automatically they'll be kicked out of the system. Because it's based on rating. Right? And ultimately that's what we want to build as well. We are building that in a way, right now it's very manual, but we are building that in a way by breaking down the task. So right now in our way of executing things, we have level 1, level 2 and level 3. So level 1 is very simple. Pick item A from point A and deliver to point B. Level 1. Level 2 is purchase and deliver. Right? You put your own money, purchase first, deliver for us, then we'll pay you together for everything. Level 3 is a complicated one. Go dress up for me, take photos, send to me, and then so those are really complicated ones. Right? So when they start at the first level, we call them starters. So after 50 runs within the first month, we will then upgrade them to regulars. But really, right now we have vetted through about 70 runners. On a daily basis, we have 20 runners active. So we really vet very few people through to the next level, and At Pro, we only have 3 guys right now. Right? So that's how we went and managed.
But before they are qualified to a starter to the level 1, so do you all like do background check? Like, is this guy okay, no criminal background and so on?
So the check which we do is very similar to checks which Uber does, which is no checks. Right, so I'm sorry I'm taking Uber as an example because we went through this thought process before doing. The problem is you do not have access to general criminal records, right? So you can't. If someone is telling you that they're doing the check, they're lying to you, right?
What is the percentage of the races of your runners?
How many percentage is fulfilled by my runners?
No. The races. How many percent of Malay, Chinese,
Oh.
runners?
So before I go to races, a more interesting part: 70% of women.
Oh, wow. Yes, good.
Okay.
I mean, I'm personally surprised.
Like housewife or
Students.
students?
A lot of students. Students, housewives, some of them they also work part-time. So like during certain hours they come up. So we have certain operational blocks and like for example if they're only working half day then they'll take the other half day and come and go first.
Are they pretty?
Sorry?
Are they pretty?
So the average age is between 24 to 35. So we don't have anyone who's older than 35. And in our company also I'm the oldest. So 33 is the oldest. So everyone else is younger.
How do you handle rejected stuff? I mean, after you deliver to the customers, they, oh man, it's not what I want, or it's already broken.
With a lot of compassion. Patience. So, I mean, to be really honest, from the business we have done so far, we have done a lot of deliveries so far. Very rarely we have customers who are disappointed with what they received, unless, like for example, we brought a cake and it got smashed along the way. So when it gets smashed along the way, we try not to deliver it. We'll bring it back to the store, deliver it again, or deliver the next day. Right? Very rarely there have been situations where I delivered smashed up stuff. If it had been, then we'll customer complaints, we'll do our best to recover. Because as for any startups, regardless of how many volume we do, it's very important for us to do our best to recover the customers. We try our best. We might have missed out some. I mean, if you are here now, I'm sorry, but we try our level best whenever there's a complaint to make sure that it's.
Why you still want to take some product in your stock, in your warehouse, and how to choose those products into your warehouse?
So it's a very good question. Right now, to a certain extent, I have unfair advantage because we are from Lupon, we know what sells. So in that sense, we know which merchants we can approach to have consignment stocks inside, and we know who can afford to give it to you. Not everyone will give it to you. I'm telling you, the biggest chunk of consignment stock in this country is still sitting with Lupon, like not with anyone else, right? Because I used to directly manage the warehouse. So we will probably get some of it because we know this might move quite often, and we'll work on that.
Okay.
And it's heavily dependent. I mean, we are not as big as Groupon now, so it's heavily dependent on how much merchant wants to work with us.
But have you like ever think of, in the end of the day, will you all become another Groupon? Because like you work with merchants and all that, and then like get a better deal or whatever. So in the end, it will be the same, right?
It's a very good question. So the Groupon model, despite the fact of how the public sees it, it's actually a model which started to help the merchants, right, in terms of timing and so on. Along the way, people took it to the next level, right? So the main issues which we saw within what we were facing on day-to-day is what we're solving right now, right? Why are we driving this major effort in making sure that merchants can get their item across to the customers? Because we know the customers are willing to buy, right? It's not that customers are not willing to buy. The problem is there's a barrier in between, right, which is technology. So if once we make the technology not a barrier, right, that's when we can actually connect commerce very easily, right? Will we become another Groupon? If you say, if I'm looking about a Groupon which is in 2008, fastest growing company in the world, I'm not worried. But if you look at Groupon's stock price now, we don't want to be there, right? So that's why whatever we are doing now is in order to make sure that we are doing things which were the challenges in Groupon, right? Of course, it's very biased because we came from Groupon. So like Adlin also worked in Lazada before. We have people who worked with Lazada before in our company right now as well. 11th Street and so on. We understand the challenges, but we can't compare. It's not an apple-apple comparison. I can never say that I'm better than Learn Street. There are merchants who want to be on Learn Street because they can manage their store on their own. Right? In our platform, they cannot. We don't have a store. They can't manage their store, and we probably will never give them the independence to do that as well, because we. As a concierge, we need to really know what are the things which are providing.
How big is your team right now?
We
And
have
how long you been in the business?
So we started in April 19.
This year?
This year. We got our funding about May 12th, our seed funding from KK Fund. Since then, we started with 3 guys. Since then, we have now grown to about 40 people, 40.
And all 40 is in KL?
All in KL, all in OCs.
I have one question. How you differentiate? Because I see before, this kind of thing happened in, let's say, Australia previously, I say. So they have this gum tree, and then people just post job they want people to clear. So and then they post and people just reply. They don't need this kind of agency. So how you look at this issue and how you differentiate this?
Very good question. I think these are also available in Malaysia now. So these are basically posting a freelance job or a runner job, right? But that's the thing. The question is, how fast do you get a response? So this is one of the challenges which we faced when we started. Everyone compared us to GoGet, right? But to be really honest, they are not our competitors. In fact, we work together with them for longest time. They help us deliver stuff, right? Because the way we are set up is we want to make conversational commerce happen. We want people to talk and buy. Amazon built a buying experience in the online world. We want to build a buying experience on the messaging world, because right today people message more than they talk. Right? So that's what we are aiming to do. The logistics part of it is just an additional layer if the merchant doesn't have it. If the merchant can fulfill, we have a lot of merchants who are delivering on their own. Right? That's secondary. The main important thing is actually creating the buying experience on messaging. So that's the main reason why we are moving towards our own app as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't understand. You're saying that you are different from GoGet, or you're just the same as GoGet?
Okay, what do you understand by GoGet?
GoGet is like they have runner also doing stuff for you. Just like what you described on the as I don't get the differentiation, clear differentiation.
So when we first started out, everyone thought the same thing as well. So, you can text and ask me whatever you want. So there was people who did a contest in their office. They asked us, they asked GoGet, see who faster.
Okay.
The faster one, the loser ended up paying for everyone. And we didn't know that people did this. Right? It happened, and then people started posting on Facebook. We had no idea. And we never intended to serve this in the first place. So when we started this model, why I say we want to be in the conversational commerce is because that's where the technology part comes in. For purely what GoGet is doing, managing a runner network, I don't need a conversational commerce platform. I don't need merchants. Right? I just need runners. But for me, the runner is a secondary layer of network to make things happen. So let's say today, for example, one of the things we sell really well on our website is strider bikes. I don't know whether you've heard about them. So this is balancing two-wheel bike without the supports for kids, 18 months and above. Right? It's a bit expensive, but a lot of people buy it. So for example, this merchant works with us since day one, and they do the deliveries. Right? But we have them sell. Right? So the selling part through messaging is the main focus. So the GoGet part of it is just an additional layer of service, which we incidentally started doing because it was a lot easier for people to request for that kind of services.
So can I say your profit comes more from selling than earning from runners?
Spot on. To be honest, I will never go out there and try to say that I'm earning from runners. Sounds really bad. Right? And that's why we don't want, that's a supportive line of ops which we do. That's not where we earn the money.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is about it, because I know there's a lot of questions and very interesting about Bemalas. So maybe you guys can stay back and then you can just catch Puvan after this. So thank you so much, Puvan, for sharing. Thank you so much.